for a championship!
A double play, Winston McCray turned it to the end zone. What a catch! Micaiah touchdown!
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Elijah wins it! The championship!
Good evening and welcome to Al Jake Jacobson Field here in Livingston, New Jersey. Livingston High School in Livingston, New Jersey. I'm Jacob Gorn, joined by Ryan Lowing. Tonight's going to shape up to be a great game. We have two teams who are both working off last season being historic for both programs. Belleville took on Livingston earlier this year, lost a hard 3-0. Took a hard 3-0 loss on their senior night at home. Just tough for them, but now they got to bounce back on the road. Nothing to lose coming into this one. Heavily predicted to have lost. They have not beaten Livingston in all competitions since 2009. Livingston's 5-0 against them since then. Livingston, on the other hand, is coming in heavily expected to head home with the victory. Tonight, they've outscored Belleville in their past two seasons 6-0. In the two times they've played the team over the past couple seasons. Livingston also are coming into this one only with 2 losses on the year. They've lost to the now number 3 team in the entire state, Seton Hall Pirates, 2-0, and the number 17 in the state, Westfield Blue Devils, 1-0. Lancers have shown these past 2 seasons, the only games they drop on their schedule are teams that rank within the top 20 in the state of New Jersey. And Belleville have shown that they don't like to go down without a fight, as they showed last time they played Livingston. Cards were flying all over the place, and the game was considered by many during the last roughly 20 minutes or so of the game quite chippy, Ryan. Now, with all that being said, it's time to hand the mic over to the voice of Livingston Soccer, Mr. Ryan Lowey.
Well, Jacob, I thank you. A swell evening with the soccer ball post-sunset here at the Jake, as the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network presents to you the first round of the New Jersey High School Boys Essex County Soccer Tournament. Livingston coming into this one heavily favored with the number 3 seed in the tournament and a state ranking of 18. Belleville, on the other hand, with the number 15 seed in Essex County. The weather is absolutely brilliant, as right now we hover around 71 degrees Fahrenheit, likely to drop to 65 by game's end. Now, Jacob, a lot of talent on the pitch today. Who are our players to watch?
Players to watch for Livingston. Senior defenseman and forward Noah Fisher. He has 4 goals so far this season, 2 goals in the most recent win versus Wayne Hills. He has a couple assists on the year as well. He's mainly the Lancers' primary stopper on defense. He sees a lot of time, converted to striker, so he is a dual position player. And for Belleville, players to watch. Well, you got their senior forward, Jonathan Ruiz, number 11, team leader in goals on the team with 9. He's been a varsity starter since his sophomore year, had a hat trick Tuesday night in the preliminary round versus West Side, resulting in a 5-1 victory to get Belleville here where they are tonight. He scored 2 goals versus Seton Hall Prep, which is a top 5 state or team in the state of New Jersey, as I mentioned before. He scored both goals versus Newark Academy to open up their season with a 2-1 victory.
Well, Jacob, the weather is beautiful. The stadium is buzzing. I can't even hear myself talk. We'll be right back. Stay tuned right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network.
Screen pass out in the flat, caught, and it's a touchdown for St. Peter's. O'Donnell swinging away, puts it over the shortstop's head. That's a base hit. It'll score 1. Faraz on his way home. Throw in is not in time. Going quickly, Bullock takes the snap, throws to the far side, wide open, touchdown. In there, called strike 3 looking. Mulcahy strikes out the side. He's perfect through 2. Now up ahead for the Marauders. Here comes Bengals. They score! Michael Benkovich for St. Peter's Prep. Bounced on the ground to short. Faraz Fields flipped to O'Donnell 1. Throw on to first. In time for a double play. Just look back out there for the Marauders. He takes the snap. Looking over the middle. Has a man. Can he scores? Reels it in. 35. Stick on to the 10. There's 2 on to the 20. Once again. Hit in the air to deep center field. Sicka moving on the back at the wall. It's gone! Ellis Reed with a 2-run blast. And the Marauders have a 6-0 lead.
St. Peter's Prep has the best coverage for its student athletes. Why don't you?
Screen pass out in the flat, caught, and it's a touchdown for St. Peter's. O'Donnell swinging away, puts it over the shortstop's head. That's a base hit. It'll score 1. Faraz on his way home. Throw is not in time. Going quickly, Bullock takes the snap, throws to the far side, wide open, touchdown.
In there, called strike 3 looking. Mulcahy strikes out the side. He's perfect through 2.
Now up ahead for the Marauders. Here comes Biggs. They score! Michael Benkovich for St. Peter's Prep. Bounced on the ground to short. Faraz Fields flipped to O'Donnell 1. Throw on to first in time for a double play. We'll look back out there for the Marauders. He takes the snap. Looking over the middle. Has a man. Can he scores? Reels it in. 35. Stick on to defenders. 2 on to the 20. Once again. Hit in the air to deep center field. Sicka moving on the back at the wall. It's gone! Ellis Reed with a 2-run blast. And the Marauders have a 6-0 lead.
St. Peter's Prep has the best coverage for its student athletes. Why don't you?
The 88th Essex County Tournament for boys soccer. Just moments away from kicking off right here at the Jake. I'm Ryan Lounge with Jacob Gorin. It is a beautiful evening for soccer. Now, Jacob, tell me, we interviewed Coach Rubinetti.
Well, first of all, we asked him how he's going to use his team's experience in this tournament to prepare for the sectional tournament later this year, of course. And he said it's a little too early to think about the sectionals. They have to learn from their prior wins and, most importantly, their prior losses, not just from this year, but the year before. Good experience. You know, it's good to have an experience that's bittersweet, like making it all the way to the sectional semis and that loss to Montclair last year. They have to take in every experience that you have, he said. Think about it. Use it as motivation to keep going further and further to achieve the goals you want.
Well, Jacob, Livingston red hot as of late. They came off of a massive win on Tuesday versus Wayne Hills. Coach Rubenetti's got to be quite happy. We were there for their 2 losses. I was there for Seton Hall Prep, very tough 2-0 loss they took. Then the 1-0 loss to Westfield. What can you tell us about those games?
Well, they were both teams that games against some very, very talented teams, Ryan. I mean,
right.
Livingston in themselves is a great team that have been for a while now. They're only going to lose to the best of the best in the state of New Jersey.
Well, if I take a look at my statistics correct, in the past 2 seasons, they've only lost to teams ranked in the top 20 in the state of New Jersey. That includes last year's Milburn and last year's Montclair, as well as this year's Seton Hall Prep and this year's Westfield, which were all close games, might I mind you. We are just moments away from the game. It is a beautiful evening here at the Jake. I can't stress enough how happy we are to have county soccer back here at the Jake for the first time since 2019. Stay tuned right here on the D1 Media page on the NFHS Network. Coming up, keys to the game and then soccer.
One of New Jersey's premier high school basketball teams gets their coverage from D1 Media Pro, and it goes like this.
Finds Floyd to tie things up. Tie game! 62 apiece. 90 seconds. Floyd attacking and throws it down. Corey Floyd. A missed opportunity down low behind the back to Bueno and 1. Lawrence with Floyd to lob it up for the slam. It's too low for Dunn. Wilcher to Floyd. Brings it in and 1 on the lob. Thought about the 3. Drives baseline. Oh, what a start for Corey Floyd. Rowdy here with Corey Floyd after a tough. Wilcher 3. Got it. Simeon Wilcher is fired up. And Simeon Wilcher all alone with the flush. Here with Simeon Wilcher. And a pass taken away by Marshall. And he'll throw it down. Tosses it ahead to Valencia. Serene driving and throws it down. He can't get around and a turnover. Corey Floyd has it. Step through, laying down the basket. Marcus Cerroti here with Roselle Catholic head coach Dave Boff. Dave, you're coming up.
Now it's your time to join.
Welcome back to the Lancers and Buccaneers pregame. Jacob, the players of the game who we just went over, you want to remind all our viewers who they are?
Yeah, just before this game begins, Livingston, we got senior defenseman as well as forward. He rotates Noah Fisher. He's got 4 goals on the season thus far. And for Belleville, we've got senior forward Jonathan Ruiz. He's got 9 goals on the season thus far. Of course, both teams have played 10 games. Ryan?
Right, it's going to be a very exciting one, and that is why it is time that we talk about the keys to the games for both teams here in the Essex County Tournament. Jacob, we spoke to Coach Rubinetti. We got some insight from him. We did some research on Belleville. We're going to tell you what the keys to the game are for Belleville. Jacob, don't crash defensively. Don't crash defensively.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough Livingston team. They're going to be tough in their own end. If they buckle up defensively, it's going to be really hard to get back into this game.
That's right. And then, of course, forward depth. This is a team that has a lot more dedicated forwards than the Livingston Lancers.
Sir. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at the Lancers, like I said before, they're very defensively oriented. Not just their team, but their entire program here at Livingston High School. Belleville's got a ton more forwards and a ton more good ones. I mean, you look, their leading goal scorer this year, Jonathan Ruiz, he's got 9 goals in 10 games so far this season.
Yeah, good stat for him. Livingston, we interviewed Coach Rubinetti, a strong start.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this before. We spoke to Coach Rubinetti. One of the things he brought up when we asked him about keys to the game was to have a strong start. He said that he wanted his any team that gets off strong to start a game is going to have the advantage right off the bat. That's always a good thing. It's always something you want, of course. Another thing he mentioned in our interview was to just keep their composure. The last matchup against this Belleville team, there was a lot of fouls. Like I mentioned before, very chippy game. Coach Rubinetti does not want that happening tonight, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt about it. That is not something that they want as well. The last 2 meetings between these 2 games, Jacob, were very interesting. If you want to read it off to us, both Lancers won 3-0 in the 2 games between these 2 years. They played Belleville.
Yeah, so
This was this year, I believe, actually, this game.
yeah, this year, just a couple weeks ago, Livingston beat Belleville 3-0. And it was on Belleville's senior night. Jared Fisk, Noah Fisher, Lucas Chiserick with the goals. Charlie Grossman, a couple assists. One of the goals was unassisted. Then a year prior, Livingston beat Belleville 3-0 as well. Kyle Kelly, Zach Feldman, Lucas Chiserick with the goals. Holden Miller, Grant Chevron with the assists. One of the goals was an assist in that game as well.
Well, we have a man that we saw on that list, Jacob, who is very damaging when it comes to Belleville. He averages a goal a game in recent history, at least in his varsity career, versus Belleville, and that is Lucas Chiserick. So keep an eye on him as, I guess, like you could say, our runner-up player to watch. But, obviously, as we said earlier, Noah Fisher's just been hot recently. I mean, he's putting goals in the back of the net. He's a converted forward from a, what do we call him, a stopper in one sense, as you could say.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to look for, not going to be quite looking for as much offense in a player that's converted from, or you're going to be looking for a little more offense, I should say, in a forward that converted from forward to defense. But he's just continuing to light it up, even on the back end.
Jacob, a reminder to all of us watching. Tomorrow, West Orange visits Union City in what is expected to be a thriller of a high school football game down in Union City, New Jersey. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful view to New York from the roof, which is where the game is played, the roof of Union City High School. That's tomorrow. The Soaring Eagles host the West Orange Mountaineers right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. It's New Jersey High School football. I'm Ryan Lowy. I'll be there with Jacob Gorin. He'll be there as well. And then our cameraman, Jordan Cooper. How's it going, Jordan? A good swell evening, right? He will be there with us as well. So that's tomorrow. Make sure to tune in. We have 70 seconds until soccer starts right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Stay tuned.
All right, this is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Welcome back to the Jake. 30 seconds until soccer will be played. Both teams are lined up. It's just a great night, Jacob. We're expecting it to be 70 degrees until later on where it will drop to 65. It's the county tournament, Jacob. Which team do you predict is going to win the county tournament? Now, I think we all know who really is, heavily predicted to win. But do we agree with that, Jacob?
Well, I mean, you're looking at the top teams in the state, West Orange, Seton Hall Prep, of course, and...
The heavy favor I'm referring to, of course. Seton Hall Prep.
Yeah, Seton Hall Prep. You know, Seton Hall Prep is, I'd say they're probably going to win high school sports. You usually don't see quite as much parity as you do in even college sports. There's just a bigger divide between talent, between certain schools. So yeah, I'll say Seton Hall Prep wins. I think West Orange is definitely, if you want to go with somewhat of a sleeper pick.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Livingston, highly seeded in the tournament. West Orange, highly seeded in the tournament. And the #1 seed, by no surprise, the Seton Hall Prep Pirates. Winner of this one, Jacob, looking to take on decently tough competition.
Yeah, the winner of this game is going to be facing
decent opportunity.
The winner between Columbia and Glen Ridge. That game is being played. Going to be played in a little bit. Half an hour from now is when the ball is supposed to be kicked off. So the winner of, again, Glen Ridge, Columbia, will face the winner of this game between Belleville and Livingston. This is the #2 ranked Livingston in the tournament against the #15 ranked Belleville.
That's right, Jacob. The winner of that game takes on this game, which we will be there for on Saturday if Livingston wins. If Belleville wins, the game will be at Belleville. Just a beautiful evening. My apologies, the game will actually not be at Belleville. I believe it will be whoever has home field advantage. So that's my apology.
Yeah, that would be the winner of Columbia and Glen Ridge is gonna, if they win, whoever wins that game, the winner of Belleville wins this one.
That is right. So we will be right back. We will be right back for kickoff right here on the D1 Media page on the NFH's Network. It's the county tournament next.
Right up the middle, barreling towards the goal line. Baldwin is in for a Vance touchdown.
Right down the middle, man. This guy, and he keep going, and the
ball's loose.
And they hop back on it. That's a touchdown.
Short punt, bounces at the 35. Fielded at the 40 by Quick. Out to the corner. He's got blockers and a lot of green grass in front of him. Cuts back. He's in for a touchdown.
Swing pass in the flat. Touchdown.
Good job, block. 3rd down and 17. A handoff. Getting to the outside. There's a hole. There's a first down. And all the way to the races is Elijah McWilliam to the house for a touchdown and for an IMIC for a division championship.
Captains are in the middle as we like to welcome you back. The game is just moments away from starting. The first county game for the Livingston Lancers since 2 seasons ago in 2018-2019 season, in which the Lancers posted a record of roughly 9-7-2. Jacob, what's your prediction? Who's going to win today?
Well, I'm going to take Livingston in this one. They have opposite records, 8-2 for Livingston, 2-8 for Belleville. Livingston #2 ranked team in this tournament. Belleville #15. Livingston got a bye in the first round, so this is actually their first game of the tournament. Belleville's second.
Jacob, we saw captains in the middle. We saw junior Zach Feldman. We saw senior Jared Fisk. We also saw goalkeeper Logan Paredes in the middle. And then for Belleville, we saw 4 captains as well.
Yeah, Leonardo Salomon. And we got Ivan Garcia, Jonathan Ruiz, and Brendan Diaz.
Those were your captains presented. As now, Belleville takes the field. Lancers soon to do suit. I'm Ryan Lowy, joined by Jacob Warren and Jordan Cooper. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening for soccer. Can't ask for too much better. Belleville will kick it off. Kicking it off for Belleville will be number 21, Mateo Aragon, the senior forward. Again, it is a very defensive team versus a very forward-heavy team. And Jacob, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if we see another 3-0 victory, because it seems to be a repetitive thing between these two teams. It happened twice in recent history, and then it happened again as well 4 years ago. All statistics, of course, courtesy of NJ.com. Lancers in their huddle. Belleville in their lineup. Belleville looked to run a 4-3-3 using that forward depth. Lancers, as usual, the typical 4-4-2. It's looking like a beautiful night for some soccer here at the Jake, as Belleville will now kick it off in the next coming moments. I'd like to thank you for joining us right here on the D1 Media page on the NFH's Network. I'm Ryan Lowy, joined with Jacob Gorn, Jordan Cooper on camera. Once again, a reminder, tomorrow, West Orange football as they visit Union City. We'll be there for that one as well. And then if the Lancers win on Saturday, they will be hosting the winner of the current game going on right now as well. Check the Essex County brackets out on NJ.com. Search up on NJ.com, Boys County Soccer Tournament High School brackets, and then choose Essex, and you can check out the bracket. Belleville, the number 15 seed. Livingston, the number 2 seed in the tournament. And, of course, Livingston, the number 18 team in the state of New Jersey. 2 teams that made their sectional finals. Livingston lost to a tough Montclair team by 3 on the other side. Belleville was able to win their group, a massive victory for them. They were able to finish off the season at 7-8-1 as now Let's Play Soccer right here at the Jake as Belleville controls, and it's booted on up and headed away. Ball now at the 50. Here is Chiserick. Chiserick tries to send the ball up, where it is cleared away by Salamain. 20 seconds in here at the Jake. And it'll be a throw-in for the Lancers, trying to put on pressure early. It'll come from Mr. Speed, Krish Malhotra. The throw-in will now come in, close side. Krish's throw-in, deflected away. He'll do it again. 2 throw-ins already for the Lancers here early on in the game, as number 20, Mr. Speed, will throw it on in once again. Yep. Ball out of play, and it is a goal kick for Belleville. You know what you missed? No. 2 throw-ins from Mr. Speed, and nothing. Yep. So, not too big of a deal. Yep, but, just, yeah.
A little over a minute off the clock here in this one.
Yep, indeed. 38:30 left to go. We apologize for that one. There's really nothing we could do about it, as we are fixing the clock right now. 38:30 left to go. And ball is now out of play. And it will now be a Belleville throw-in, and the Lancers control. Passed on up. Here's Fitzgerald getting a start today. Ooh, and a hard collision. We said, Jacob, this game could very likely get very clicky early.
Yeah.
Possible opportunity for the Lancers is shut down by Penaloza. And it's sent right back into play. A quick-moving game early, Jacob.
Yeah, this is a Belleville team, as you mentioned earlier, chippiness. It's a Belleville team that really needs that chippiness to stay in games. That's their sweet spot. That and their, you know, as we talked about earlier, great forward depth and good scoring ability. Livingston, not the worst at scoring either, though. Charlie Grossman has 7 goals on the season in 10 games.
And the whistle blows, and it will now be, after a foul, a free kick for Belleville. Apologies, we are having some technical difficulties this evening. Think we have it handled, though. It happens. I'd like to thank you for joining us right here on the D1 Media page on the NFHS Network. It's county soccer here at the Jake for the first time since 2019, as the ball is now put back into play off of a seared kick, close side, and controlled by Captain Ruiz. 4 captains for Belleville, Jacob. Ball sent on up, and Fierce Feldman cleans the line up and cuts on back. That was sharp.
Yep, that's what you're going to get from one of the top defensive boys soccer players in the entire state of New Jersey.
Beautiful relay on up. The pass to Grossman is shut down right in time. We almost saw Lancers break through a quick-moving game early. Here's Jared Fisk, the Vassar commit. Sends one down to Grossman, who's bodied off the ball. And it's cleaned on up by Penaloza, but action has come into play early as the ball is kicked right back on in. Headed on up. And off the back. Ball in the middle. Goldsmith controls. Sends one up. Here's Chiserick. And the ball is out of play and a little too strong for Grossman. And it's a Belleville throw-in 4 minutes in. Thrown on in and right to Fisher. Fisher cuts the corner, the converted forward. Being held, sends one to Grossman. Grossman is onside. Grossman sends one up the middle and is deflected for a Lancers corner, close side. Whistles come in to stop the clock, which is exactly what we will do. Jacob, what do you think we saw right there? Maybe a shooken up Buccaneer, possibly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You have a guy going to the sideline. That looks like it's going to be...
Well, 35-41 is where the clock stops at. Fisk will now put it back into play.
Checking in right now for Belleville is going to be number 20 on their roster.
So we do have some miscommunication. Oh, we might see a card come out now? Interesting. Nope, we will now play on.
Checking in is Eric Costilla, and coming out, Joshua Nadal.
It's a trick short play for the Lancers off the corner. A heavy touch for Fisk. He controls, he's bodied off of it, and now Belleville comes down quickly the other side. Belleville in their all whites, Lancers in their all greens. It's the full out color duel, as there's a shifty move right there by Rodriguez, and played on back now, controlled by Garcia. Garcia sends one far side at the 50 where Belleville control, and it's sent on up. But Fierce Feldman gets in the way of that one and stops the run. Belleville still controls. Passed on upstairs. Poor touch recovered right there by Strunsis, and the one-touch boot on up there by Paredes gives the Lancers control at the middle. Here's Fisher. Fisher tries to get shifty with it. Passes one on up, far side. It's a risky but successful pass to Henselwitz, who tries to send one up, relayed off a couple heads. Decent touch by Grossman there, but doing an excellent job doing the botting is Garcia. Garcia, very experienced player for Belleville, Jacob. Belleville is a very strong senior class. They converted 4 captains into the ranks this year. That's a lot. Ball sent on up. Onside is Fisk as of now. Ball rolls, but the Turf Monster will not get in front of that one. And headed, still in play, right back to Fisk. Fisk, come on Jared, screams the crowd. A quick moving start to this game, and Jared's able to deflect it off of the far side defender for a corner, and quickly subbing in to take corner kicks, getting a lot of new time. Neil Ajib started off as more of a bench role player for the Lancers. Now he's getting a lot of time. Got 60 minutes in versus Wayne Hills. That's a lot of minutes, Jacob.
And he's going to be checking in for Ben Goldsmith.
So the corner will now come in from, my apologies, Jacob, the corner will now come in from Ajib. Raises his hand, sends it on in with the strong left foot. It's beautifully curled, and Fitz's finish right back into pressure off of the Belleville defender, and we have a whistle blown of offsides on the Lancer line. Belleville's free pass to send it up, as you were saying, Jacob, with 33.5.
Yeah, Goldsmith's been what you can call a rotating starter. It's not out there to begin every game, but, you know, is sometimes.
Chiswick controls, sends it on back. Lancers control at the 50. Strunsis bombs one on upstairs. Grossman offsides, but Chiswick sneaks on by and is able to keep it into the corner brilliantly. He goes one-on-one. Sends it back over to Grossman, who's now converted back onside. Left foot's one on, and it's a very nice ball. Just a little too weak for Fisk, far side. But the ball rolls right to where it needs to go within our player to watch today, Noah Fisher, who takes a touch a little too heavy into the bricks, and it's a throw-in for Belleville. Jacob, I can't get over the pace of this ball game. Belleville, we do know, plays quickly. Livingston, we do know, can handle the quick play as they are controlling. As Coach Rubinetti said, a quick start is what they need.
Yeah, I feel like they've gotten a quick start here. I'm sure Coach Rubinetti would like a goal early on. They've had a couple corner kicks. 32.5 remaining in this first half.
Henselwitz. Strunsis. Sent on up now. And now passed on through. But a little too strong to the intended recipient of that one, and it's a goal kick. 32 minutes left to go. You can catch the Essex County Tournament on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network, the #1 live stream in the state of New Jersey. Ball sent on up right to Jared Fisk. Fisk takes a dead touch, passes it on back. Now Hatra, and swung it all the way around. Here's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald sends it on over. Lancers control, ball a little too strong. Everyone called off for the keeper to control. 31-30. Passed on up now, here comes Belleville. This is Captain Ruiz at the 50. Ooh, Fakes out Fitz. Fitz will now have to recover. He comes in quickly. Pass on up. There's a 1-2 quick. Excuse me, I am soaring today. A 1-2 pass that is controlled by Paredes. 31-10 left to go. Paredes. And now arriving on scene is Jake Hans, Jacob. Ball booted on up to the 40. Controlled by Belleville and sent on up. A little too strong. Few missed touches. Cleaned up in the back by Fierce Feldman, who takes a touch. On up. Henslevitz. Toes one on up to Hajib. Hajib is quick with the wheels, but he is beat just barely. Right there, a good defensive sweep by Gerber Correas.
Close battle there between Hajib and Reyes.
Well, Mr. Speed can throw the ball, which he will do right now. He'll do it roughly from the 10. Coach Urbanetti sending some instructions in. Ball gunned on up. Off a few heads. The shot from Strunsis is just inches close from squeezing in between the bars and the crossbar. That was close.
Yeah, that ball is about a few inches lower, and it's a sure goal for Livingston.
That's what I would call, that's what I call a missile of a shot.
Yeah, nothing was stopping that one from going from Strunsis' foot into the back of the net, except for the air.
Fisk tries to keep it in, he can't do so. It's a Buccaneers throw-in. Buccaneers 2-8 coming into this game. Livingston 8-2.
One of Livingston's wins against the Buccaneers. That was a 3-0 win, as we mentioned earlier. 29-23 remaining in the first half.
So it's now a Belleville throw-in from Nodong. Joshua Nodong with the throw-in. Throws one on in. This is controlled by Diaz. Belleville now controlling the back. It's sent on up to the 50. Strunsis tries to get in the way of that one. He tips it on away. Belleville control. Here's Visuna. Kicked on up. There's a brilliant ball right there to Garcia. Garcia bodied off the ball brilliantly by Jared Fisk. Now that was a smooth midfielder's cleanup right there, Jacob.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Gives his team a goal kick.
So it's a goal kick from the 6. 28:35 left to go.
We see, looks like Ivan Garcia is limping a little bit along the sidelines.
So it looks like Livingston want to make another substitution within Benjamin Goldsmith. We're 12 minutes through and scoreless here at the Jig. Thank you for joining us to the Essex County Tournament on the D1 Media page on the NFH Network. The preliminary rounds are over. It's down to the best 16. Belleville squeezes into it. Livingston an easy route to it with the bye. As Chiswick taps one on up. And the Buccaneers control. Fisher goes down and draws the foul, and everyone retreats back to the left side of your screen to the Belleville line. Whoa! Pardon my French. Fireworks are in the building, Jacob. So we've had technical difficulties, fireworks. We've seen it all.
Yeah.
What's next? A gorilla across the field in Livingston, New Jersey? Lancers control. Shipped on up. Here's Fisk. A nice one-touch pass, and we have an offsides.
Grossman's asking the official, he's saying, I was offsides? I wasn't the guy being passed the ball.
Well, that's the claim you make, but the official can't really read it. Ball placed at the football 29 on the Belleville side. Ryan Lowy, Jordan Cooper, Jacob Gorin. Jordan on camera. Ryan Lowy play-by-play, Jacob Gorin color. It's a beautiful evening for soccer.
It's a great one.
The Essex County Tournament on the D1 Media page on the NFHS Network. Fisk ships one back to Feldman. Fierce Feldman plays one over to Henslevitz. And Henslevitz with a beautiful ping downfield. It's going to be a foot race once again, but looks like on top of it and cleaning on up the gunk is Ivan Garcia. Check on in Benjamin Goldsmith, according to Coach Urbanetti. And Neil Hajib checks on off. Lancers using their substitution depth early. Something we have not seen a lot this season, Jacob. An interesting decision.
Yeah, quick rotations early on between the border guys. When it comes to guys on the bench, expect to see Chris Kane come off soon.
Ball's thrown on in. Fisher. Slide tackled and earns a Lancers throw-in. That was Mario Rodriguez. And Jacob, Lancers controlling the pace of the game 15 minutes in.
It's going to be a corner kick, it looks like, actually.
Did I say throw-in? My apologies. Corner kick. 1-2 tap. Fisher goes down the line close side and chips one out of play with the abdominant foot. It's a goal kick from the 6. 25.5 left to go. Now, Jacob, let's talk corner kick plays. We've seen the Lancers, they like to play the cute short ball at the corner. What do you think of that decision? Do you really think it's been working?
Well, it didn't work just there. Tried to get, as you said, get a little cute, a little fancy with it. And just got a little too fancy. Shot it wide to the left.
25 minutes left to go. Crowd starting to spill on in here at the Jake. Lancers control. Tapped on upfield. Belleville on the takeaway attempt. Denied. And they will now control in the backfield off of some aggressive 1-2 taps upfield. Here's Garcia. Cuts on into the middle. Looks to do a far side maneuver. Ball at the 50. Controlled now in the backfield. And now out of play. That was Salomon, who was able to work the deflection for Belleville and a throw in directly at the 50 from Vasuna. Passed on up. Belleville control. This is Ruiz. Captain Ruiz tries to send one up. It's denied. Belleville control, a far shot. Spears out of bounds for a Logan Paredes goal kick at the 6 with 24 minutes left to go in the first half. A quick moving first half. Can't get over the speed. A very shifty change compared to what we saw Tuesday at Wayne Hills, or, for example, even versus Seton Hall Prep. More control in the backfield. Both teams just really trying to get rugged offensively.
Yep. I mean, both teams want to get this first goal bad. For Livingston, they're a team that has struggled a little with scoring. For them, you're only about 17, 16 minutes into this game, but you're playing a team like Belleville, you want to be up at least 1-0 by now.
Belleville controls. Swept on far side. Chiserick on the header. There to control is Vasuna. Ball is left. Good communication by Strunsis to send it on up a poor touch by Goldsmith. He tries to clean it up. Strunsis will help him out with that one, and it's right over to the left winger in Chiserick. Bombed on up towards the 50. Headed back on up by Salomon. Fisher, today's player to watch, controls. Ships one on back to Mr. Speed. Mr. Speed. Jacob, we have our nicknames in the books, don't we?
Yes, sir. Mr. Speed, Krish Malhotra for Livingston. Of course, Power Man.
Elijah Williams. Mackay Williams, my apologies, for West Orange. We got it all. We have the Penetrator as well.
Yes.
We have the squad. And we'd like to welcome Fierce Feldman to the family. Belleville controls. They try and clear it on away. Strunsis controls. A pass a little bit too strong for Henselvitz left to back away to avoid injury collision. And it's a Belleville throw-in with 22 minutes left to go. The throw-in now going to come in from Vasuna. A reminder to tune in tomorrow, West Orange versus Union City varsity football on the Deal Maker page of the NFHS Network down in Union City. That's a very strong game.
Yeah.
Make sure to tune into that one, high school football fans. A couple collegiate commits playing in that game. This ball is played on up by Grossman. Over to Fisher. Fisher, a strong touch far side. He'll try and now keep it in. Throws a body right into Correas. And he will
Charlie Grossman's been so...
win the fight for a Lancers throw-in, it looks like, as you were saying. And my apologies, lose the fight for a Belleville throw-in, as you were saying.
Charlie Grossman's been so strong at so many aspects of the game thus far this season. I think it's pretty safe to say he's been Livingston's best forward this year.
Grossman actually a wing-back, believe it or not, for his club team. So position versatility is what Coach Urbanetti has in his hands, and I think that's something he likes.
Yeah.
Most coaches would love that. Livingston, a very talented team, a lot of depth. And the JV team also producing a lot of talent as well at the moment. They're off to a rough 500 season at the moment. Roughly 7 or 8 games left to go. Excluding, of course, the varsity county and sectional tournament. Strunsis sends one on up. Fisher seems to be onside, fakes out a defender. Possible dangerous play. Ball sent on in. Wide from Fisk.
Fisk had seemed like an open net, at least from here. I think he might have had a guy in his way, had to elevate it a little bit. Once he elevated it, just couldn't quite get the right accuracy, right aim on that ball. Went wide to the right.
Belleville will now put it back into play with 20-30 left to go. Sent on up now. Salamone. Bounce not read too brilliantly. Lancers control as a result at the 50. Ball shipped on up by Henselwitz. It's right to Grossman. Grossman goes down and gets the foul. Roughly halfway through the first half of play. Thank you for joining us here on the D1 Media page on the NFHS Network. Henselwitz free kick from roughly the 34. Winner of this one plays Saturday versus Columbia or Glen Ridge. I'm predicting a Columbia victory. Lancers took down Columbia 4-0 earlier this season right here at the turf. There's a beautiful send by Henselwitz. Feldman's header couldn't be any perfect. He's Fierce Feldman. It's a Lancers goal.
That was absolutely beautiful. Perfect header. Arced over the head of the Belleville goaltender, Junior Logan Kootloo.
Well, that's a good start for the Lancers halfway through.
Jason Penizola, my bad. Still, like I said, that was a great trick play. Perfect pass, perfect header, perfect play, Ryan.
Well, when it comes to the goal of the season for the Lancers, I think you know what Zach will be saying. Vote for me, Zachary, because that was a smooth goal. 19:48 left to go. A phenomenal first goal of the game, Jacob. We expected Lancers goals tonight. We saw one in phenomenal fashion.
Yeah, that one was real pretty.
And Fierce Feldman touches it on away now. Belleville control. There's a ball shipped on far side Diaz. Deflected cross. And now played on back to Feldman. Whoa, a nice play right there far side. And right back to Fisher. A little 1-2. My apologies, not Fisher. Fisk sends it up to Fisher. Fisher misreads it. He will now try and foot race his way on over. Correas, though, will win the battle and clear it on away. 1-0 Lancers, Jacob. That was a sheer and smooth finish by Zach Feldman.
Yeah, that was another fantastic goal. I would say it's definitely a candidate for goal of the season for the Lancers.
Oh, most definitely the finesse.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the best headers for a goal I've seen. So perfect. So great.
Possible opportunity there denied off the back of the foot. Now, Jacob, you want me to tell you the best part about that whole thing? Feldman, a center back.
Yeah, came all the way up on the free kick. I will say, though, for the Lancers, you're up 1-0 yet, and against not a very good team, don't back off. Don't take your foot off the pedal. Keep going, keep pushing, get a second goal. I mean, it's only 1-0. You're only up by a goal.
Well, that, what I'd say, lightens the mood, because that was quite the goal, and this has been quite the quick-moving game so far. Free kick now off of a collision, and it looks like ready to take it is Leonardo Salamone.
Oh, holding his right knee, it looks like, is going to be Joshua Nadong. He's limping off the field. Checking in for him is number 20, Eric Costilla.
One sec.
Nadong limping off the field to the sideline. That's a big loss for Belleville. It's been real solid for them this season.
Why did our audio... Okay. Apologies, had a little audio cut out right there. We are back, though. 17:50 left to go. Right here on the D1 Media page on the NFHS Network. A goal from Zachary Feldman got us going. Paredes bombs one up to the 50, under the bright lights. Jacob, it's Thursday night lights, the second best thing to Friday night lights. Belleville controls. Outside the foot pass, controlled by Rodriguez. Shipped on back. Belleville trying to play tricky. Some press from Grossman. He's doing an excellent job. And the Lancers get a little pushy with it.
Grossman does such a good job there, applying pressure. Allow Chiswick to come flying in and keep that ball in bounds and get Livingston the ball back.
Fisher fires one far side. Onside as Fisk looks like it is so. Fisk turns, sends one up the middle. Denied to Grossman, but the shot squeezes into the back of the net for a Lancers goal. It's Jared Fisk.
I don't know what happened there. We had a beautiful first goal. Second goal, it's just a ball that trickles in. I thought that I'm not even sure what happened there. Maybe Pinizola thought that was going wide and just let it go, but nonetheless, it's a goal for the Lancers. I said don't take your foot off the pedal. They did not. It's 2-0.
Well, Fisk fizzled it into the net. 2-0 Lancers. A quick start, Jacob. We're seeing a lot of action early. It is the county tournament, and the Lancers are so happy to be here. 2 goals early. Quite phenomenal. And now they're pressured again. Henselwitz cleans it on up and sends the ball all the way back to Paredes as the Lancers control. Fisk weaves corners.
Ryan, I want to bring this up. That whole goal was created by just the pressure and forecheck in the middle half of the field by Grossman and Chiswick.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The Lancers are in the driver's seat early. 2-0. The past 2 times these 2 teams played. 1 home for Belleville for their senior night. 1 home for Livingston. We were there for that last year. 3-0 wins for the Lancers. Fisher's ball sent on in. The header from Grossman. Not quite.
Yep. Header deflected. Wide to the right. Just didn't quite have the right angle on it.
15:42, Jacob. Substitution. John Paul Crespo checks on in. And Jacob, soon, that's right, soon, we will likely see some new Lancers faces this season, as we have seen a couple JV players called up today. We see Keyshawn Bava. We see a couple new Lancer faces that we've seen at the JV level this season, getting some varsity appearances. Dylan Santucci. Even Eric Bullino has spent some time down with JV. Lancers have the whole squad with them tonight, as there's no JV team playing at the same time. Fisher gets groovy with it. Tries to dive in, and he's tackled down. And bring out the PK. Sign, Jacob. Bring it out.
Fisher was toppled over there. Belleville is screaming. They're like, that's a slide tackle.
Wow.
Strong words from the Belleville head coach.
Talk about taunting. Well, Jacob, we now see a PK opportunity from the one and the only. It looks like it's actually our player to watch. I thought it was going to be Grossman. It might actually be today's player to watch, Noah Fisher.
So we're getting set up here.
Now, hang on a second. What's happening? Did they just overturn the call? They might have. Confusion at its finest, Jacob. We've had a lot happen tonight. An overturned call, technical difficulties, fireworks.
Yeah, they're saying this is a
okay
goal kick, it looks like.
Well, there's only one thing I can say to it because I'm not the ref. Okie dokie. Let's play on. Fisk controls. Gets one to Mr. Speed, up to Fisk. Fisk can't get by 2. Sweeping tackle right there. Lancers throwing at the 50. Well, Jacob, Lancers almost up 3-0 off of an interesting call. What did you think of Fisher's impromptu play right there? Hold your thought, because Grossman almost scores, but he's called offsides on the brilliant save anyway by Penaloza.
Close offsides call there. I thought he might have been on, just level with the 2 defenders. Official says otherwise, though.
Jacob, would you say that was a Lancers PK opportunity there? Well deserved, or?
I'm actually going to say no. I think Fisher had possession. I thought that was a clean slide tackle. Fisher was just on the unfortunate end of it. He was in not quite a good position to take it. But I thought it was clean.
Belleville controls. Ball rolls on out. It's a throw-in for the Buccaneers with 13:50 left to go. Shipped on up. Here's Chisorick. Ships one close side. Fisher reads it brilliantly, controls. Soul roll. Step over. Weak cross. Down he goes again. Same place, different time. Doesn't work out. Getting a little chippy over there. Chisorick. Cuts on in, opens up space. Shot coming in from El Fuego. Oh. We almost saw El Fuego's first goal of the season. But it's right into the breadbasket of Penaloza.
Yeah. Penaloza's let up a good goal, let up a soft goal. It's a nice save there, though, to keep it 2-0. Good, great pressure by Livingston here to start this game. They've not given up anything. I mean, I don't think Chris had made a single save. Ryan.
He's took a couple touches on the ball with his feet.
A couple touches,
passing
but touches
player,
are different than saves.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Jacob, the Lancers also know how to run the line. We've seen that too. A lot of beautiful through balls. Belleville's got to clean up the back. We said don't crash the middle. I'm afraid they might be doing exactly that.
Yeah, keeping it clogged up there, looking for counter-attack opportunities. Livingston's just so stout defensively, they're not letting them get any of those counter-attack opportunities.
So the throw-in to Fisk. Fisk takes a nice controlling touch. Hard hit in the backfield, controlled by the Buccaneers and shipped on up towards the 45. Good touch there to get the ball to El Fuego. Takes a hit from Correas, controls. Tries to sneak on by, he's slide tackled. Belleville not afraid to get turf dirty. They don't mind the pebbles. They roll around on the floor, they are a slide tackling type of team. They play physical, we knew that.
Andy Pessoa, we've been calling him El Fuego. He's had a very quiet start to this game, especially compared to some of his other Lancer teammates. He's going to want to, knowing Andy, he's going to want to get loud and make a difference in this one.
So Mr. Speed wins the race to the ball because, well, you know, he's Mr. Speed. Passes it on over, and the Lancers control in the backfield. Feldman to Henslevitz. Takes an attackative touch to the 50. A left-footed ping, brilliant to two Lancers, and it looks like dealing with it is Fisher and burying it into the back of the net. He fishes one on in. The Lancers have a 3-0 lead. He didn't get the PK, but he said it's okay because he buried it into the back of the net.
Well,
and he gave the Trout what it deserved.
Well, Ryan, that's our player to watch, Noah Fisher. Great touch, tapped it in. Fantastic goal by Fisher. His hot streak continues. It's 5 goals on the year now. He's second on the team.
3 goals in 2 games as well. He had 2 goals versus Wayne Hills. Belleville controlling the backfield with 11 minutes left to go, roughly, in the first half.
Lancers have now scored the same amount of goals they've scored in each of the 2 games against Belleville. Each of their last 2 games against Belleville in total. 3-0 scores both times, Ryan. It's 3-0 now. Less than 11 minutes to go in this first half.
A Belleville free kick with 10:40 left to go. It's Thursday Night Lights. Lancers up 3-0 here in the round of 16 of the Essex County Tournament. I'd like to thank you for joining us here on the D1 Media page on the NFHS Network. 10:25 left to go. Belleville control in the backfield now. Lancers put in a pair early, thought we had a PK on their side, but the call was overturned. We saw fireworks as well. Ball dribbles out of play far side for a Buccaneers throw-in. Thrown on in. Mr. Speed tries to handle it. Down he goes. And it's a Belleville throw-in. 2 Lancers check in. Matthew Hoffman Lav Siegel to check out. Charlie Grossman, Noah Fisher. Interesting, first game this season where we have not seen Lav Siegel starting. So a change by Coach Rubinetti.
Yeah, he wants to see a little more out of Lav is what I'm guessing. Lav Siegel, extremely talented player. Great last year, has not quite been at the same level this season.
Well, the entire Lancers team last year just exploded after that loss to Milburn, turned it around, turned the ship like nobody's business. Won a massive winning streak, didn't lose another game till the sectional final. They played every playoff game that COVID would allow them to play last year. They went all the way to the sectional final. It was just a phenomenal season. They're trying to repeat that this year. They're number 18 in the state of New Jersey and the number 3 seed in this county tournament, Jacob.
Number 2 seed.
Number 2 seed, my apologies. They're really good. Number 3, West Orange. Number 1, Seton Hall Prep. The ship is steering in the right direction. Substitution. Checking on in Mateo Aragon for the Buccaneers, down 3-0. A loss for Belleville would push them to a 2-9 record. Last year they went 7-8-1, including a sectional title. It's a big mantle to hold. Lancers couldn't do the same last year. Tough loss to Montclair, 3-0 on the road. Benjamin Cessio on his game that day. A lot of people at that game too, I think well over 500 people. Packed Fortunato Field in Montclair.
A lot of people, especially for a COVID year.
Yeah, they didn't let anyone into the facility, so they all lined up outside the gates. 7 Lancers starters put the suit away. Ball out of play for a deflected Belleville throw-in. And now putting it back on into play is Nadam. Buccaneers control. Henselvitz swings one on up. The rear line of Belleville will have to clean it on up. 7.5 left to go. They will do so. Penaloza.
It's good to see Nadong out there, back out there. Ryan, as he's been gone off the field limping a few times in this game. Looks like he's good to go right now, though.
Belleville control in the backfield. Contested pass results in a Lav Siegel breakaway. He's got a helpful opportunity, but his pass is deflected. Lancers just oh so close to another big feat. Ball shipped on up. A hard pass to Ruiz. Henselvitz doing a strong job at the fullback position today. He's getting a lot of help from Fierce Feldman. Andy Pessoa gets in the way of that one. Belleville now have to control. Belleville a quick-paced team, Jacob. They don't slow down. They control now in the backfield. Penaloza.
Do we hear a marching band, Ryan?
I don't know. It's been an interesting day of audio. Chisarick reverses course and sends a beautiful ball to Lav Siegel. Siegel trots on over, keeps it on in. Lav Siegel, the senior, a very skilled senior, rolls out of play.
Tried to make the move around. One of the Buccaneers captains, that's number 19, Leonardo Salamone.
Now, Jacob, here's a story for you. Checking on in for the Lancers. Alex Yucht with a broken wrist. Now, this is a great story. All respect. Alex Yucht played freshman year on the freshman team. Couldn't play sophomore year due to injury. Junior year, he comes on in. Lost his sophomore year. Apologies, yes, lost his sophomore year due to his hurt wrist. Comes on in junior year to tryouts. Almost not recognizable to the coaches because he missed an entire high school season. Junior year, he's able to make the JV team, work himself into the starting lineup, and have a leadership role. Very impressive, isn't it? And then this year now he comes in, breaks his wrist again, but that does not stop him from his dream of playing varsity soccer. Now that is a great story.
Yeah.
There's not many better stories than that. Was Yuck there getting a little groovy with it, but out of play, close side. I feel like every player, well, every team, at least most teams, have a player with a great story to why he's there. I think Yucks can be the player this year for it. Belleville control. On back at the 44. Now swung onto the defensive side.
less than 5 in the first half. It's been quite a dominant one for the Lancers, Ryan.
Indeed, 3 goals. I have to say, play of the game, predetermined, unless, you know, SportsCenter finds a SportsCenter top 10 here. That was Zach Feldman's goal. I mean, that was terrific.
Yeah.
Here's Hoffman getting his first minutes, loses the ball, stumbles over it. I mean, that was a wow factor. We saw a blooper goal as well. I mean, we've seen a lot tonight. We've seen fireworks. We've heard the marching band. I'm really curious to see what's next. It's been a night of fun. It's between Feldman and Lockdown Logan. Jacob, Lancer football tomorrow night at Patterson Kennedy.
Yeah, it's going to be a good few bounce-back games for Lancers. They've had a tough schedule. Patterson Kennedy, a little bit of an easier game compared to some of the other teams they faced recently.
Yucht gets tricky. Loses the ball, gets it back. A nice pass over to Siegel. Siegel's first goal of the season has been executed. Love Siegel, gotta love. Puts it in the back of the net. And it's 4-0. Wow, a first goal and a first assist.
Yeah, that was another real pretty one. Great pass, right up the gut for Love Siegel. And he gets a perfect arc of a shot over the head of Jason Penaloza. 4-0 Lancers. 3 minutes, 29 and counting.
Wait, hold on, Jacob. Do you hear that? Do you hear that? I hear seagulls flying. Belleville controls in the back. It's 4-0 Lancers, Jacob. Roughly 3 minutes left to go. Belleville will now try and work it up. It's been all Lancers early. Alex Yucht with his first assist. Love Siegel with his first goal.
We were just talking about Yucht. What a story. First assist of the year.
And that was really just a goal of terrific nature right there. I mean, the finesse. Just excellent. And now, I think Fisk wants back in with the fun. Overruns, oversteps, controls. He's double teamed and tackled down, but earns himself a throw-in. And checking on in for the Lancers is Neil Hajib. 2:30 left to go now. And it's a Lancers throw-in far side. It's going to come from the strong arm of baseball player Matthew Hoffman. Hoffman can do it all, Jacob. Varsity basketball player, played some JV baseball, and he plays soccer. Massive substitutions for the Lancers. They can do everything, Jacob. These Lancers, they have all types of athletes and position versatility. Is now checking on in track star, distance runner, Colin Miller at the left back position.
Lots of dual athletes on this Lancers squad.
Well, Jacob, I think we can both agree. There's been a lot of Lancers wins this season and last season where we've been like, phenomenal job defensively, but I think the offense could have finished with 1 or 2 more. I don't think we're going to be saying that tonight. Ball thrown on in, and it looks like it's going to be a Lancers corner.
Yep, headed it away to the side, and it's going to be kicking the corner for the Lancers.
Neil Hajib.
Yeah, their corner guy.
Minute 15, the lefty twirls one on in. It's a little low. Deflected on up in the area. A Yucht header.
He's got such a unique shot, Hajib.
He's really just got a unique touch on the soccer ball.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like he hits it that hard. He gets such a creative arc on it.
Yucht is getting dancy today. He got by 2, almost got by 3. If he keeps doing this, I think the college scouts are coming. He's had a phenomenal day today. And short amount of minutes, too. It's been the golden touch for him. A little shove right there from Andy Pessoa. 35 seconds left to go. Now, Jacob, we've had our nominations today of goals of the year. The Yucht-Siegel combo. The Feldman finesse. We've seen it all. And now we are drumming to the beat.
Marching band practicing.
So this looks like it will do the first half. It's been a on and off the field entertaining one. Ball shipped on up in the air. And that will do the first half of play here at the Jake. The Lancers smooth sailing. We'll be right back for the second half right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network. Once again, it is 4-0 Lancers.
Screen pass, out in the flat, caught, and it's a touchdown for St. Peter's. O'Donnell swinging away, puts it over the shortstop's head. That's a base hit, it'll score one. Faraz on his way home. Throw is not in time. Going quickly, Bullock takes the snap, throws to the far side, wide open, touchdown.
In there, called strike 3 looking. Mulcahy strikes out the side. He's perfect through 2.
Now up ahead for the Marauders. Here comes Benkovich. They score! Michael Benkovich for St. Peter's Prep. Bounced on the ground to short. Faraz Fields flipped to O'Donnell 1. Throw on to first in time for a double play. Just look back out there for the Marauders. He takes the snap. Looking over the middle. Has a man. Can he scores? Reels it in. 35. Stick on to defend this 2 on the 20. Once again, hit in the air to deep center field. Sicka moving on the back at the wall. It's gone! Ellis Reed with a 2-run blast. And the Marauders have a 6-0 lead.
St. Peter's Prep has the best coverage for its student athletes. Why don't you?
Want to learn how to be a talk show host? Want to be a great play-by-play announcer?
That's good!
You always have to be prepared for something to happen.
Thank you, Gary.
Sure, thank you, Matthew.
Good evening, everybody. Today is Super Bowl 54. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers.
But sometimes there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot going on. There's a lot on your mind.
Arizona is a tough out right now.
I think the Chiefs come out of it.
He speaks beautifully.
To speak in front of people, learning how to have a conversation, learning to ask questions. These are skills that will help you in whatever you do in your life.
It's hard to get to everything we have going on here. I mean, this high school has so much. And now you're offering the ability to watch those events without having to travel there.
My dad travels a lot, so he likes to watch the events. Like if I'm playing a volleyball game and he can't make it, he'll watch it and he loves it.
I think it was homecoming. It was Friday night, and it was a punt return. And I returned it all the way back for a touchdown. And then, of course, I showed all my family members, and they really liked it. They liked to see what their family members can do.
Golden Lions.
I think this broadcast is essential because our team is global, and we got people all over the world going to watch the game. So without this, there's no way they can do that.
These kids and these players feel loved. They feel important. And by broadcasting it, you have a bigger group that you're reaching that allows them to know those kids.
Are you interested in pursuing a career in sports marketing or creating impactful sports content? You can get experience in high school by being a part of the RISE program powered by Ortho Carolina. It will give you a head start on an exciting career. The RISE program exposes students to industry professionals and gives them real-world experience by creating content and marketing the teams at their own high school. To find out how you can be a part of RISE, email us at contact@readinessandsportseducation.org.
One of New Jersey's premier high school basketball teams gets their coverage from D1 Media Pro, and it goes like this.
Finds Floyd to tie things up. Tie game! 62 apiece, 90 seconds.
Floyd attacking and throws it down! Corey Floyd! A missed opportunity down low, behind the back to Bueno and one! Lawrence with Floyd, he'll lob it up for the slam! It's too low for Dunn. Wilcher to Floyd, lays it in and one on the lob!
Thought about the three, drives, baseline. Oh, what a start for Corey Floyd!
Here with Corey Floyd after a tough...
Wilcher, 3. Got it! Simeon Wilcher is fired up!
And Simeon Wilcher all alone with the flush. Here with Simeon Wilcher. And a pass taken away by Marshall. And he'll throw it down. Tosses it ahead to Valencia. Serene driving and throws it down. He can't get around and a turnover. Corey Floyd has it. Step through, lay-in, build the basket. Marcus Cerroti here with Roselle Catholic head coach Dave Boff. Dave, you're coming up.
Now it's your time to join.
New Jersey Devils. I can't see it. Blacked out. It's blurred. Well, it's supposed to be blurry. Hear that? This one's obvious. Blackhawks or Ducks?
So obvious.
Oh no! 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 Blackhawks! Blackhawks!
What did you say the first time? I didn't even hear.
I said Rangers. It's Blackhawks.
Yeah, it's Blackhawks.
I'm in Chicago was the home team twice, so this is not a gimme series for Edmonton. But I still make the other succinct.
This is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
He's going to take it himself for a championship!
A double play wins it from Frazier. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch! Micaiah Todd, touchdown! Elijah wins it! The championship!
Right up the middle, barreling towards the goal line. Baldwin is in for a Vance touchdown!
Right down the middle, man. Just got, and he keep going, and he
the ball's loose.
And they hop back on it, and that's a touchdown.
Short punt, bounces at the 35, fielded at the 40 by Quick, out to the corner. He's got blockers and a lot of green grass in front of him. Cuts back, he's in for a touchdown!
Swing pass in the flat. Touchdown.
Third down and 17, a handoff, getting to the outside, there's a hole, there's a first down, and all the way to the races is Elijah McWilliams to the house for a touchdown and for an IMIC for a division championship.
Do you want your school to be covered by the #1 live stream service in the state of New Jersey so the entire country can see moments like this?
We play once again. Free kick coming for the Mountaineers. Short shot on goal. On post. And West Lions lets the goal. And they win. They take down the #2 ranked Seton Hall Pirates. Bullock takes the snap. He's going to take it himself. Barreling towards the goal line, and he's in. Charge Bullock from 3 yards out. And the Marauders lead it 20-7.
Or be a witness to championships like these?
Montclair are state sectional champions. They defeat Livingston 4-1, and the Mounties sweep the boys and girls brackets in back-to-back wins over the Lancers. 3-2, there goes the runners. Swing on!
Welcome back to The Jake. I'm Ryan Lowy. Jacob Warren will be with us once again. And Jordan Cooper on camera. 4-0 Lancers. We see some major switches on the Lancers side as we play second half soccer now. In goal, Jake Hans. Getting his first varsity minutes, Keyshawn Bava. Colin Miller sends the ball on up.
Yeah, Ryan, the Lancers know they're most likely going to win this one, up 4-0 after the first half. They're resting all of their starters, which is probably the right move considering, if you win this game, you got a much tougher path coming up. Don't want to risk any injuries.
Well, it's likely they will see rather Columbia or Glen Ridge on Saturday. That's if they can keep Belleville behind them, in which Belleville's going to try and revoke that one, but Hans gets in the way of it. It's out of bounds for a Belleville corner kick. Far side, mind you.
Marching band practicing here.
So now the corner kick will come in. Shipped on up. Into pressure and too strong. Goal kick from the 6. So now here's the goal kick. It'll come from Jake Hans. This is Jake Hans' first goal kick of the game. Jacob, what has been your favorite goal so far?
Gonna have to go with the Zach Feldman goal that opened things up.
The Feldman finesse.
Yes, that's what you want to call it, Ryan.
From Fierce Feldman. I happen to really like the Yuck to Lov-Siegel combination. I thought it was a smooth play right there. Lov-Siegel buries one with the left foot over the head of Penaloza. 38-12 left to go. 4-0 Lancers. They're in the driver's seat. The helm of the ship. Belleville not giving up. They're using their fast pace to try and bury one into the back of the net. The ball is now thrown on in. Pass taken away by Pessoa. El Fuego earns the Lancers a throw-in off the deflection. And the throw-in comes in quickly from Mr. Speed.
We talked about all the crazy things that have happened today. Tonight with us, technical issues, fireworks, the marching band practicing here. This is completely unrelated, but funny enough, the Devils in the Prudential Center are having some technical issues tonight as well, Ryan.
What's jamming in Jersey, Jacob? What's jamming in Jersey?
Well, half of the Prudential Center has lost power, as well as most of the scoreboard. Devils were supposed to play the Islanders tonight in their final preseason game. The Devils' final preseason game. Not sure that one's going to happen anymore.
Deflected off a Yucht. And a shield from Paul Alm-Osri. The senior earns a Belleville goal kick from the 6 that's blown away, whistled down. Jacob, predictions for tomorrow, Union City West Orange football right here on the D1 Media page on the NFHS Network at 7.
I don't know. It's going to be a really close one. Union City, West Orange, 2 great teams. West Orange has not been able to beat those real tough teams, though, so this is going to be a real test for them, I'm going to say.
Well, Livingston football at Patterson Kennedy. Livingston trying to pick up their second win of the season. Haven't won a game since the first week of the season as Colin Miller uses his big frame to clean that ball up. Passed on up. Here's Pessoa. Andy shifts sides to back to where it came from. It's a nice touch by Yucht. Yucht trying to look for a through ball. Has to turn back and pass it over to Mr. Speed. Speed with a nice pass. And the ship to Yuck. Yuck believed he was offsides, didn't make the run. The ball will roll out of play for a Buccaneers goal kick. So here is the kick back into play. Now, Jacob, a new goalkeeper for Belleville, mind you. Kutlu in net. As this ball's sent in, and Kutlu cleans it up. Belleville control. Here they come up the field. Ruiz sends it far side. Belleville control. At the 50, ball shipped right back over to Ruiz. Ruiz controls. Passes it on up. This is Moreno. Moreno, cross down the middle. Rejected by Strunzus. Can't get on top of that one is Kane. Ball in the air to Kane. Kane tries to take a touch on it. Just a little short of it. It's now a shielding maneuver from Al-Nasri. That doesn't work because here's Bader with open turf to roll through with the ball. Cuts on Ennis, crosses deflected, tries to get back on top of it. He can do. Passes it on back. Here's Pessoa. Shifts it on far side. First touches by Keyshawn Bava. Turned on back. Towed on over. Goldsmith into the wall. And cleared on up. The Buccaneers control. Castillo sends one on up, and Belleville control far side with 34:30 left to go. And the ball is pinged on over and touchdown by Yucht to the rear guard of Belleville. Jacob, plenty of season left to be played before we make our way to the sectional tournament. Lancers, an interesting upcoming schedule.
Yeah. Obviously not quite as many games as some other teams who haven't played as much of their regular season schedule as the Lancers, but still they've played 10 games thus far. After the county tournament, they're going to be playing Montclair on the 18th, Glen Ridge on the 20th, Newquay on the 22nd, Verona on the 26th, Paramus on the 28th, and finally Hillsborough on the 30th. Games at home, Montclair, Verona, Hillsborough, Glen Ridge, Newquay, Paramus, all on the road.
So the Lancers have gotten most of their home games out of the way. They will host the ECT games until the finals, that is, of course, unless they face Seton Hall Prep, which would be in the finals at a neutral site. Lancers control. Shipped on up, here's Alex Yucht. Yucht, a beautiful pass to Bader, but Bader, a stub touch out of play with 32:55. So the Belleville throw-in. Yucht on top of that one. Yucht having a great game, just a phenomenal one. He gives it over to Bader. Bader shifts inside, bodied off the ball. Kane can't control. Here's Keyshawn Bravo with the right-footed finish. Oh, it was just so close.
Yeah, just wide to the left for Keyshawn.
Bava, he almost had the right-footed reeler, but just a tad bit off. Kane tried to get on top of that one, just missed it by a foot. And now Belleville put it on back into play, Jacob. We're seeing some new faces for the Lancers. We're seeing the future of the program.
Yeah, lots of JV players getting their opportunity. Full bench tonight for the Lancers. JV not playing, as you mentioned earlier.
County tournament, yeah. Pass out of play, Lancers throwing. 31:55. Mr. Speed takes the throw-in. He throws one up. And headed out of bounds. Another Lancers throw-in comes from Krish Malhotra with 31:40. Charlie Grossman having a little bit of fun at the ball boy position. Now, he's what I'd like to call a personality player. He's got a great personality. He's loved by everyone on the bench as that ball is deflected out for a goal kick. He's like, all you baseball fans, he's like your Ronald Acuna Jr. He's got the lovable personality, and he's a fierce player.
Yeah,
he's tactical. He's quick. He's actually quite strong, too, I must say. 31 minutes left to go. 4-0 Lancers. Belleville control. Up the field they come. Here's Ruiz. Ruiz ships one down the line. And traffic avoided by Jake Hans. 30:45 now left to go. Hans hammers one upfield to the 50. Nice touch by Pessoa. But Belleville come on top of that one off the steal. Here's Moreno. Ships it on back to Al-Masri. The Buccaneers control. Al-Masri chips one on up. Deflected off Pessoa, and Yucht leads it on back to Mr. Speed. Malhotra pings one up the field. That's a nice ball to Bader. Bader reads it the right way as he sneaks by Nadong. Goes down on the cross, takes a hard hit. Caught by Kutlu. Put on back into play with 30 minutes left to go. Jake Hans taking the reins as the Lancers starting goalkeeper next year. I think the Lancers are in good hands. There's always a generationally strong player that has a strong year as the Lancers starting goalkeeper. There's a nice pass by Miller over to Bader. Bader's first goal of the season goes through the wrong material.
Yep, up the uprights for 3, but not the important one, as me and you like to say.
Bulino checks in. Bulino takes out Goldsmith. Thought we saw a 5th goal of the game? Well, not quite.
Nope, just high. Less than 30 minutes in this game, Ryan.
Played on up. Our Belleville control. It's been a day of opportunities for the Lancers. 4 goals in the first half. They're looking to tack on this second half, mostly with non-starters on the field. 29 on the dot. Left to go. Jared Fisk has committed to Vassar College to play college soccer. Zach Feldman will likely commit sooner than later if he's interested in playing college soccer, which I think he's no doubt about it, a D1 college soccer player.
Oh yeah, no question. One of the top players in the entire state of New Jersey.
Speaking of that, congratulations to Jared Fisk, Lucas Chisarick. Congratulations to Jared Fisk, Lucas Chisarick, no worries, and of course their goalkeeper, lockdown Logan Paredes, for being named in the top 100 seniors in the state of New Jersey. It's quite the honor.
Yeah, I mean, well deserved as well.
28 minutes left to go. We're grooving to the band. The band is practicing in the background, probably prepping for tomorrow night versus Patterson Kennedy on the road. Lancers play it back on in from the corner. Shipped on up. The head on the ball does not sneak through. The putback from Yucht. It's good for 3. But we don't want 3, we want 1.
Yeah.
So it's a goal kick from the 6 for Kutlu with 27:40.
Yep, snap was good. Hold was good. Kick just a little high.
Put back into play from the 6, Belleville control. Still 27.5 left to go. Development time for the Lancers. Shipped on upfield, shut down by Yucht. A nice touch by Yucht. Yucht's touch is on the dime today. Pessoa, shipped on up. Outside the foot pass back to him from the opposing team. Here's Yucht. Yucht's got a lot of space to take. He'll try and cut on in. Deflected pass. Yucht still somehow able to control as he just loses it there.
You mentioned the football uprights. This, of course, is a multi-purpose field here in Livingston. Football, soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, all played here. Not just for Livingston, but junior and middle school sports as well, Ryan.
Substitution, junior Lancers play football here. The future of the Lancers football program. Coach Matt Sakis in his inaugural season as the Lancers head coach, former West Orange coach.
Yeah, took on a bit of a project coming to a weaker Livingston program.
Now that's a way to word it, I must say. That is a very good way to word it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a project. He's an experienced coach. A lot of winning with West Orange, but that's a much deeper program with a lot more players who have just been committed to football for their entire lives.
Yucht, slide tackle down. I believe he has earned a Lancers throw-in. And the throw-in will now come in from Matthew Hoffman. Hoffman wearing number 16 for the Lancers, the 3-sport athlete. Guns one on in, deflected off ahead. And everyone is called off for the keeper to sweep it on up with 25-35 left to go. Bombed on up. Bava. Strunsis. Miller. And Belleville take over. But Miller wants it back. He's going to showcase that track speed. He's on a breakaway as he gets by a defender. Passes one on and it's deflected. Out for a Lancers corner. Could have taken it inside, decided to go outside route. Earns the Lancers a well-deserved corner kick. That was a great effort there.
Yeah, fantastic speed. You mentioned he plays track.
Well, runs track.
Runs track, yeah. So of course, track is a very diverse sport. But runs track. Got by a man and forced a corner kick, which we'll see right here.
Corner kick. Deflected off Miller and cleared away prior to going out of play, so we remain inbounds. Strunsis cuts on in. Runs into somebody and still controls and ships it on back to Krish Malhotra, Mr. Speed.
Livingston playing a lot of their backups. Krish Malhotra, almost the safety option here.
Yeah, the sweeper, the Zach Feldman of the Livingston Lancers at the moment. Substitutions, Ming Ma checks in. Neil Ajib checks in. Dylan Santucci checks in. A new look Lancers. Bava checks out. Pessoa checks out. Yuck checks out. Yuck, I have to say, Yuck having a phenomenal game.
Yeah, he's just been all over the ball tonight.
Belleville controls. Shifty out of pressure. And now they will drive on upfield. This one's chipped on up. Here's Crespo. Crespo takes his time. 23-35. Shipped on up and through, cleaned up by Strunsis. They header ball right back to the Lancers. The pass to Ajib, just a tad bit too strong. 23-15 left to go. The ball's passed on in. Intercepted. Here comes Neil Ajib. Slide tackle slows down play. Ball back into play now. Lancers control. There's a heavy touch there by Santucci, who tries to drive on through. He's rejected by Salamane. Swing and a miss. Belleville will now try and clean it on up now with Crespo, and a Bader hit earns Belleville a throw-in. And my apologies, a free kick with 22-35. So the ball will now be played back on in by Nadong. And up to Castillo, and Belleville backline controls. 22-15 left to go. Jacob, mark it on your calendar. Lancers will most likely be playing this Saturday. Predict. Who do you think they'll be playing? I'm thinking Columbia.
Yeah, I'm thinking Columbia too. Beat Columbia earlier this year. Livingston, you know, first two rounds is what you're looking at with Livingston. When they're your number 2 ranked team in a tournament. We're looking at maybe that third round finals. We have some players checking in.
Lancer substitutions. Kane checks out. Bader checks out. Mr. Speed checks out. Ming Ma checks in. Yucked back in. He's having a phenomenal game. And Lob Siegel checks back on in. And Jacob, the band is really feeling it tonight, I must say. They're playing some good tunes. Headed up in the air. And Siegel gets a touch on it, controls. Plays it on up, a little too strong for Borelowitz. Belleville control in the backfield. Passed on over, here's Visuna. His pass is too weak, Yucked all over it. Yucked, tries to drive upfield, collides, and he is down. And that is not a sight you want to see. Stop the game, yes indeed.
He's holding his right or left arm, it looks like. That's the one with the broken wrist.
Well, that's a tough break as the clock stops. We're going to go to break. Stay tuned right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the NFHS Network.
Right up the middle, barreling towards the goal line. Baldwin is in for a Vance touchdown.
Right down the middle, man. This guy, and he keep going, and he
the ball's loose.
And they hop back on it. That's a touchdown.
Short punt, bounces at the 35. Fielded at the 40 by Quick. Out to the corner. He's got blockers and a lot of green grass in front of him. Touchback. He's in for a touchdown.
Swing pass in the flat.
If he gets to the corner, he's going to get in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Good job, block.
3rd down and 17. A handoff. Getting to the outside. There's a first down. And all the way to the races is Elijah McWilliams to the house for a touchdown and for an IMIC for a division championship.
Welcome back to Al Jake Jacobson Field. I'm Jacob Gorin, joined by Ryan Lowy. Unfortunate incident there for Alex Yucht. Just coming back into the lineup, playing with a broken left wrist. He falls on it. He's down injured.
Well, that's a tough break. He's been having a really good game, too. I mean,
yeah.
He's been, like, on fire. And another player who's on fire right now is Santucci as he breaks on through, gets the ball to Love, deflected. Love with his first goal of the season today, tries to bang in a second. Headed up in the air. And the Buccaneers control. Boano tries to get in the way of it, can't win the fight. Getting groovy and movie is Ruiz. Deflected. Touch by Ming Ma. Ma's pressured his pass. Deflected right on back. Ma. A nice play by Ming Ma to earn Buccaneers throwing, but it was a back and forth opportunity there. It could have gone either way.
Yeah, very 50-50. As we creep under 20 to go in this game.
We're in your essence of a fourth quarter, Jacob.
Yeah.
It's do or die time, and Lancers are up 4-0. Phenomenal. The dynamic duo is doing great in goal. I mean, they haven't had too many opportunities, but Logan Paredes was there for the reset a couple times. We saw a nice save by Hans. The dynamic duo was there today, and the Lancers are just every single man on the squad, and they're riding a full bench tonight, just doing phenomenal. I don't think there could really be any complaints. I mean, they beat Belleville 3-0 last time. They beat Belleville 3-0 last year. This is a phenomenal team. Last year's team was a phenomenal team, and, you know, they're beating this team by more than that now. And the game means more. It's a county tournament. The Lancers now move on to the county quarterfinals if they can secure it in these last 19 minutes. So, a win-win for Coach Urbanetti and the Lancers, in which we had the pleasure of interviewing him, Jacob. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we asked him a couple questions. First, we asked him, you know, how is he going to use this tournament to prepare his team for the obviously much more important sectionals/state tournament. He said it's a little too early to think about that. Just go game by game. But learn from your wins, more importantly your losses. He also talked about keys to the game. Talked about getting off to a quick start. Lancers definitely did that. 4 goals in the first half, and staying composed, not taking a lot of fouls. Lancers have also done that. I believe the Buccaneers have only had 2 corner kicks this entire game.
A respectable statement as well, Jacob. Take it game by game. Soccer's a game that's very taxing on the body. Games are usually spread out in the schedule, so it's a little early to start looking that far ahead. So game by game, they'll take it. They're a high seed in the tournament, which means they won't be facing the toughest competition until the later rounds. This is the round of 16. They'll go on to the quarterfinals with the secure victory here. They're up by 4 goals. It's going to be quite the ride for Belleville. Here's a shot from far. Over Hans and into the back of the net for a Belleville goal.
That was a bullet.
That ball squandered on into the back of the net over Hans.
I believe Fabio Moreno on that one. 4-1, 17:45 left in this game.
So Hans concedes his first goal of the season. The shutout is stolen away into the wind. 17:45 left to go. 4-1 Lancers. Ball played back in. Hoffman. Lancers controlling the back. Here's Fitzgerald. Over to Ming Ma. Ma. Challenge, tries to get by 2, can only get by 1. Controlled by Mascara, who's bodied off the ball, and Ming Ma has earned the Lancers a goal kick from the 6. Well, that was quite the shot from Moreno.
Yeah. I mean, just bullet. Top right corner. Nothing Hans could have done about that one. Dove to try to block it away. A little too high for him, for the sophomore. Will grow, though, over the next couple years. At least you'd hope so.
Ball played on back in. Hans already got a big frame. He stands just under 6 foot. Very experienced goalkeeper playing in the USL Academy. A very high level of soccer. Coach Rubinetti got to like that. The club soccer players developed their game quite well in preparation for the school season. Some of the biggest names in Lancers soccer play for some of the best club teams in this nation. Zach Feldman, Charlie Grossman, Jared Fisk.
Andy Pessoa.
Yeah. Andy Pessoa played for the Ironbound Super Eagles, who were at one point ranked in the top 10 in the state of New Jersey. Bader, shot, zooms wide, and... Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, no, it's going to be a goal kick. I thought that was actually going to end up being a far throw in there. As I was saying, Grossman, Feldman, and Fisk all play for the... What at one point was in the top 5 teams in the nation, Jacob, in the nation. And the U.S. is not small. Over 330 million inhabitants. It's a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, really impressive soccer program Livingston's built up here. Not the best at some other sports. Football, most notably, but soccer is definitely one bright spot for this school.
Yeah, well, it's becoming a soccer school. The girls' team's been so strong. They're trying to win today. If they won today, they cracked 500 on the season. And if Livingston wins, 9 wins and only 2 losses. Those 2 losses to fellow top 20 teams in the state of New Jersey. So Livingston, a soccer school by all means.
Yeah, and, you know, one of those losses to Westfield was 1-0. The goal that came very late in that game.
Some would say the Lancers should have tied Seton Hall Prep as well. Belleville now trying to crack what was once a 4-0 deficit in half. Shift sides. Opportunity for Ruiz. Cuts on over, deflected ball, and Hans squanders it on up. It's into his breadbasket with 15 left to go. And here comes the band. The grand old Livingston band, giving us our background tunes this evening. 14:50 left to go, Hans. A beautiful kick. Very strong goal kick there. Off the right part of the foot and hit it on up. Belleville control. Santucci. A nice touch there by Borelowitz. Still on the ball, doing some bodying. And he kicks grass. Unlucky. But that was pretty impressive there. He was able to shield off a Belleville player for a solid 30 seconds. Well, now here comes Belleville down the other side. Ruiz opens up. He's able to get by 2. Almost able to get by 3. He shoots, and his curl was a little too long.
Long and high and wide, Ryan. That's the unholy trio when it comes to shots in soccer.
Well, I have to say, that was quite impressive. Grooved right down the close side. $13.50 left to go in the game now. Hans sends one upfield to the football 45, and a whistle blows for a free kick Lancers. I believe it hit a hand. 13:35. Jacob, how's it going in Newark?
Devils game has been officially canceled. Devils Islanders. Islanders will play one final exhibition game against the Rangers. That's this Saturday. Devils preseason is over. Their final game, 6-2 loss to the New York Rangers. That came last night. They're looking to have a good year. All the New York teams are in hockey. Islanders, Rangers, Devils.
Belleville now have an opportunity as the whistle blows and we have a player down, and I think we will see a card. Well, bring out the heavy duty. And the clock will now stop with 12:50. Yellow carded, Jake Fitzgerald checking on in. The quick, fast and fierce, Charlie Grossman. Well, the Devils need to represent New Jersey, Jacob, because the New York Red Bulls are having a tough season in the MLS. They're falling down in the standings, out of the playoffs at the moment.
Of course, look at other teams that play in the state of New Jersey. Jets and Giants having a rough start to the season, both getting their first win in overtime this past weekend.
Hey, Rutgers football looking good, though.
Rutgers football is having a solid season.
Well, we welcome them into the Big Ten. This is their first, I'd say, real serious season in the Big Ten where they can actually compete.
Yeah.
Whistle blows. We're back into play. The shot squandered up by Hans with 12:45 left to go. Rutgers basketball, too. March Madness. The Garden Statement, as the governor called it. Bombed on up. Bounces. Bader. Can't turn the wheels on. Good communication, and Kutlu on top of that one with 12:20 left to go. Lancers looking to make another substitution real soon. Up in the air and headed. Borelowitz controls. Santucci. Outside the foot. Tricker bowl. Ajib unable to get there in time. It's passed on up. Belleville control. Very aggressive there from Colin Miller. Lancers looking to make a substitution. Here's a throw-in now for the Belleville Buccaneers. And deflected for another Buccaneers throw-in. Get the ball back in play soon. 11:30 left to go here in the second half. It's 4-1 Lancers. 4-1. Borelowitz hammers on by and opens up space. Sends one up the middle. Kutlu able to control as a whistle blows. And we have action. Clock still runs, and, well, Jacob, this reminds me of a Yankees-Mets bench clear at the moment.
We have a Lancers player getting ready to check in. That's number 29.
Now, interestingly, Jacob, he's not on the roster, and I'll tell you why he's not on the roster. Because he's actually on the freshman team. Now, this is very good for him. Number 29, Riday Dobby, getting varsity minutes as a freshman. Does that remind you of anybody? Oh, I think it does. Charlie Grossman and Zachary Feldman.
Yeah.
Riday Dobby will now take out Tyler Borelowitz. Now, this is impressive. It is extremely impressive to play varsity soccer as a freshman in Livingston.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows the talent up and coming in this Livingston program. Clock still runs. Just over 10 minutes and counting to go in this one. Officials and both teams taking their time. They know this one most likely is over as we pass the 10-minute mark.
Do we bring out the card?
We'll see.
Do we? Let's look. Looks like they keep the cards in the... Or maybe they did give a card. We're waiting for it. So nothing is given, Jacob. Now, you might be wondering, why has the clock not stopped? I can't answer that for you.
Clock is stopped now. Finally.
9:41 left to go. Hold on, we're getting instructions of where to set the clock to. 11:32. 11:32 will be put on the clock. Remaining left in the game, according to the official. So that's 2 minutes more, Jacob, which means 2 more minutes of experience for the Lancers. Got to think of it the positive way for them.
Yeah.
So we are soon to get the ball in play. 11:32 left to go. It's getting a little chilly, Jacob, as we said.
Yeah.
Temperature expected to drop, and it did. So Belleville control. Swung on far side. Belleville control. Deflection, this is Ruiz. Grossman. Pings one on upfield, it's a foot race. Can Love Siegel get there before Kutlu So close. Kutlu just gets a hand on it. Lofsiegel looking to double his amount of goals this season in one night. Just a tad bit shy of that one. 10:55 left to go. Jacob the band back at it. Belleville control.
Grossman's playing center back, it looks like.
Yeah, you're right. They're giving him a different look. He's the sweeper for the Lancers at the moment. There's a shifty play right there. Quite tricky from Salamain to earn a Belleville throw-in. My apologies. Yes, a Belleville throw-in. They control. Different look for the Lancers. As you said, Grossman's sweeping. I don't see that too often. Grossman, the CDM of sorts, maybe the cam or forward, but we don't really see him play too much sweeping. Well, he's now going to get tested. And he doesn't have to do too much, as there's a nice ball squandered up by Hans. Hans's hands got in the way of that one. 10:10 left to go.
And now, for real, this time you'll see the clock pass the 10-minute remaining mark in this game.
Lancers opportunity, it's an odd man rush. A one-on-run right there between Salamain and Bader, and Salamain wins the race. Flex one on up. Siegel earns it back. Siegel having a great game. Tries to curve on in, keeps it in, gets by a player. Tries to get by two, he takes too heavy of a touch. Kutlu takes care of that one. Ball now back into play. Again, all eyes on the freshman Raday Dobby. Cutting on in. Shipped on up. Ming Ma will have to chase down Mascara. Belleville control at the 50 with 9:10 left to go. That pass just kept on in. Bolino rejects a possible breakaway. Now we hit 9 minutes left to go in the game, Jacob. Now, due to change, of course, who would you say is your player of the game?
This is really hard to say in this one, Ryan, especially because most of the players who you would say would be player of the game haven't even touched the field in the second half.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Zach Feldman, of course, scored that fantastic goal. Lofsiegel with a great one. You know what? I'm just gonna say the entire Livingston Lancers.
Well,
they put up a great team effort, Ryan. Fantastic pressure. That first half, one of the most dominant in soccer I've seen in a long time.
As Keyshawn Bava checks in, Jacob, my man of the match is Alex Yucht. Comes in, gets an assist, a lot of breakaway opportunities, almost had a goal. He had a phenomenal game, and he's got a great story.
Well, he's one of our players too, because I did choose the entire.
You did choose the entire Lancers, so I guess technically we're in agreement. But yes, Alex Yucht is my man of the match. 7:50 left to go. Belleville control in the backfield. Passed on up. And out for a Lancers throw-in.
Getting a lot of touches on the ball tonight is number 77 for Belleville. He's not on our roster.
Hoffman taps one on up, it works perfectly. Lancers control. Ajib loses the ball, gets it right back, tackled away again, and a whistle blows, and Ajib got the benefit of the doubt. Belleville does not like that call. 7:10 left to go. Looks like ready to check on back in for the Lancers, Tyler Barelowitz, with 7 minutes left to go. 6:55 now left to go. Kicked on up. Lofsiegel can't get a touch on it. Ball now at the 50. Headed on up by Hoffman. Lancers control. Here's an opportunity for them. Denied by Nadong. With 6:30 left to go and a whistle blows, we have a substitution. Tyler Barelowitz checks on back in. Tyler Barelowitz will take out, getting a round of applause. Number 11 for the Livingston Lancers, Lofsiegel. Lofsiegel, the Pesa Academy product. 6:15 now left to go. Siegel checks on out. Back into play. Barelowitz. It's out for Lancers goal kick from the 6. With 6 minutes left to go. Here's the Jake. Belleville control. Passed on back with under 6 left to go. Roll the band. Belleville control. Shipped on up. Now, Jacob, I have to say, I've done a couple Lancer games with the band in the background. It's actually quite enjoyable. I did the Newark Academy Livingston game, and we heard a rendition of Here Comes the Sun in the background. It was quite entertaining.
Yeah, definitely is. They're practicing right now, it sounds like.
5:30 left to go. Remember, Lancers at Patterson Kennedy tomorrow. Lancers trying to come up with their second win of the season. They haven't won since week 1. West Orange at Union City tomorrow. We'll be there for that one. That is a good game. We're very happy to bring it to you. Now, the Orange Bowl, Jacob, I think that's got to be my favorite high school football game of the season. That was quite the game.
Fantastic.
East Orange, Campus West Orange. Now, it has some competition in Seton Hall Prep St. Peter's. That was a good game, too. But that was just such a phenomenal game. We remember everything. Power Man powered through, but West Orange just couldn't propel a victory. East Orange was up by 2 touchdowns. West Orange scores a touchdown off of Power Man, and they win the onside kick. But hold it right there, Jacob, because West Orange's trick play didn't work out.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game. Tomorrow night's going to be great as well. We're going to be on the rooftop of Union City High School. Fantastic view of New York as we're right on the Hudson River. Just a few miles away from West New York.
Gotta love the city skyline.
I grew up a few minutes away from where I grew up in West New York, Ryan.
Oh, really? What town?
It was oddly called Jacob's Ferry.
Jacob's Ferry. Jacob came from Jacob's Ferry, huh? Pass deflected. Shipped on up. The sweeping Grossman wins the chase. He goes one-on-one and clears it away from Crespo. John Paul Crespo. It's been an interesting day. We've seen a lot of unique character, not from human beings, but from objects come into place. We've seen fireworks. I mean, we've seen technical difficulties. We've seen everything, Jacob.
Yeah. As we hear, here comes the sun from the...
Oh, as I was saying. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Belleville control.
3.5 left in this one, Ryan.
Ruiz tried to bully his way through. 3.5 left to go.
Lancers are just trying to shut this thing down.
4 goals for them, Jacob. I think Feldman's goal, play of the game. Man of the match, Alex Yuck, play of the game, Zachary Feldman. Just phenomenal.
Yeah, one of the most perfect header deflections I have ever seen, Ryan.
Oh, it was really phenomenal. Now here are the Lancers and the opportunity. Rade Dobby, first varsity touch is too heavy. Almost bounces back on it as he swings, and flares one for a Lancers corner kick, so I guess it's technically a win for him. Earns the Lancers a corner kick far side on the right side of your screen. Ryan Lowy, Jacob Gordon, Jordan Cooper on camera. 2:40 left to go. Reminder to join us now on Saturday. Lancers host the winner of Columbia Glen Ridge, currently with roughly 20 minutes left to go in the second half. I'll be there. Jacob and Jordan will likely be there as well. Ball sent on in so close, but just misses. 2:20 left to go. Goal kick now from the 6. That will come in from Kutlu with 2:10 left to go. Touched on up. Santucci with a nice header. Hoffman takes his time. His kick is deflected. Touchdown by Bulino. Sent on up by Colin Miller, but deflected wide. Under 2 minutes left to go, Jacob. Belleville control. Pushed on down, and the whistle blows. Deadens play with 1:45. Ball placed at the 46. 100 seconds left to play to Jake. That pass, gobbled up by the Turf Monster and too strong with 90 left to go. Ming Ma throwing for the Lancers as the ball boy Jared Fisk tosses it on over. And shipped on back in. Played on up. A hard ball. Dobby makes the chase. A poor pass and possible opportunity. Kutlu just clears it away. Santucci. And now the Buccaneers control. Step over. Outside the foot pass on up. This is Captain Ruiz. Shipped on far side. And touchdown with 55 seconds left to go near the line far side and out of play for our Lancers. Thrown mismanaged. With now under 50 left to go. Jacob, we've seen a nice goal this game. We've seen a great story in Alex Yucht. We've seen a lot this evening. We've seen 4 Lancers goals, including Lob Siegel's first of the season. Ball shipped on up to Rade Dobby, who controls. He's got to take on 2. And he shoots from far, almost buries it in the back of the net. Kudlu denies the freshman phenom.
What a play and what a save by Kudlu. He dove to his left with almost no time left on the clock to keep it a 4-1 game. That will be the final score.
Jacob, I'm afraid we almost saw a freshman with a stat on NJ.com for the Lancers. That would be quite impressive.
Yeah.
But it was just barely denied by Kudlu, as that will do the ball game. The final score, 4-1 Lancers. And folks, I'm afraid the only thing that's left is the traffic. I'm Ryan Lowy, joined with Jacob Gorn, Jordan Cooper on camera, and that will do it. Here from Al J. Jacobson Field in Livingston, Essex County, New Jersey, the Lancers move on to the quarterfinal round, and that will do it for Belleville in terms of tournament play until the sectional tournament at the end of October. We'd like to thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you on Saturday morning right here once again at the Jake on the D1 Media page on the NFHS Network. Good night.